This is the first lesson of our second unit, which will cover chapters 4 and 5. And this is chapter 4, Atoms and Elements. This lecture itself will cover sections 1 and 2 of chapter 4, which are elements and symbols, and the periodic table. Section 1 of chapter 4 is elements and symbols. And I'm sure you're all well aware of what these are, but if you are not aware, every element, of which there are 118, has their own symbol, and this is just done to make it shorter when writing or talking about these elements. You can say H2O instead of dihydrogen monoxide. So the symbols are very important for shortening the use of these elements. As you can see in this table on the left, you have the symbols of the particular elements. Uranium has the symbol U, titanium Ti, chlorine Cl, iodine I, magnesium Mg, tennessine Ts, curium Cm, and copernicium Cn. And it gives you the source of them, like uranium is named after Uranus, titanium is named after the Titans, the ancient Greek gods. Chlorine comes from chloros, which literally just is a greenish yellow, a word for that in ancient Greek. Iodine comes from ioides, which means violet in Greek. Magnesium comes from magnesia, a mineral. And actually, that's all great, but it actually comes from the name of the place where that mineral is found. Tennessine is named after the state of Tennessee, where that element was discovered. Curium is named after Mary and Pierre Curie, the people who discovered it. Copernicium is named after Nicholas Copernicus. And the table on the right has many more elements and their symbols. And the one at the bottom left has some one-letter symboled elements and two-letter symboled elements. What you need to notice when looking at these is that the one-letter symbols always are capitalized. But when they're two letters, the first letter is capitalized and the second letter is always lowercase. That's always going to be true. Now if we look at some of these other elements over here, let me pick some out. Copper has the symbol Cu, even though, in English there's no U in the word copper. It does come from the Latin word cuprum for copper. Mercury has the symbol Hg, which comes from the Latin word hydrargyrum, that literally means liquid silver, or what you might know of quicksilver. Lead is Pb after the Latin plumbum. Iron is Fe after the Latin ferrum. Gold is Au after the Latin aurum. Potassium is K after calcium. Silver is Ag, argentum. Sodium is Na after natrium. Tin is stannum. Another one that's not even listed here that's common, tungsten, has the symbol W after the German word Wolfram, which is named after a person. So the periodic table, section 2, is the ordered arrangement of the 118 currently known elements. And you can see, obviously, I'm sure you know what it looks like, but you can see what it looks like here. You can count them all up. There's 118 of them, from hydrogen all the way to oganesson. Now this periodic table, things you want to be able to look at, you have the representative elements up here, which includes the alkali metals and the alkaline earth metals, and all these over here in this box, those are the representative elements. Let me color them in. The alkaline metals are a group of the periodic table, group 1A. All of these elements, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium, are alkaline metals. Group 2A consists of the alkaline earth metals, which are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. And then there's the halogens, which are in group 17, which includes fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, acetine, and tennessine. And then finally, for the named groups, you have the noble gases right here. Group 18, which is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, and oganesson. Or oganesson, I don't know. It's a new one as of last year. In the middle of the periodic table, you have the transition elements right here. And so groups 3 through 12 are in the transition metal group.